problems. The implication was that now you begin to ask them, let's use the stay at home. Now that since you're not staying at home with your kids, what does that mean for you? How is that impacting your life? Well, Victor, I don't have time to spend with my kids. My husband gets really irritated because every time I get home, he's crabby because he's had to change the diapers, whatever it may be, right? Something like that. But what you're trying to do is to, again, understand the implications. If it's back here, you want to move it where? Right here. If they need to make additional money, they may be talking about, we got a lot of bills that we're dealing with right now, and we really can't handle that. Well, how is that impacting your marriage? How is that impacting you personally? Is it causing you more stress? Again, you'll have to develop the questions. I can't do that for you. And then the last part here, if they're thinking of sending their kids to college, you ask them subtle questions like, your kids seem to be getting older. Johnny's like 17 right now. What college are you thinking of sending him to? They're going to say, this college. How much does that college typically cost? They're going to say, well, it costs about, I don't know, $20,000 a year. I said, are you able to, is he going to get scholarship loans, or are you going to be able to pay that in cash? Most likely they're going to say, well, I don't know how we're going to do it. Again, now the implication is here, they don't have a solution. The need payoff is that, what if I can show you, something that I'm currently working on, would you at least be interested in looking at it, okay? And this is where you begin, remember the pivot? This is where we begin to pivot right here, okay? Everybody with me? Just nod their head or give me the thumbs up. Okay? Okay? Great. So now that we know this, we said when we were ready to pivot, we've already discovered this spin problem here. We don't want to launch into our presentation without knowing several things. What are some of the typical objections you're going to get? Remember this? So in other words, we know that we have typically 3 to 5 objections. Remember the 3 to 5 that we covered? We covered 3 to 5 objections last time. And what I asked you to do is put together a script based on the response block structure. You got to raise the issue, often resolve, show them something, and then tie that objection down. And if you tie all 5 objections down during your 30-minute conversation, their resistance are to go up like that during that 30-minute conversation. Everybody with me? So this has to be built into your 30-minute presentation. As during the conversation, you're going to raise these objections and you're going to block these objections. This is what we've covered so far. And if you do this, I'm telling you, you really have to spend time with this, because this is where the money's at. This is where the closing rates will increase. If you can block the objections as you have your conversation, this is where you're going to win. Okay, so this is why I want to emphasize this, and that's why I'm asking. If you have any questions, now's a good time to have this conversation, because of all the things I'm going to show you, even what we're going to talk about next, this is the most important piece, because this is where you're going to talk one-on-one with somebody and you're going to close the deal. So I open it up to questions one last time before we get into, I want to talk about social media and how to start generating some leads, okay? So any questions? Let me see, I got some chat messages here. Hold on a second. Let me see. Something about Kathy speak. Kathy speak.
I don't have any questions right now.
All right. Tony says I have no voice. Okay, that's cool. So everybody gets this, right? So Kathy, let me pick on you then. Did you have any problems with this, Kathy, as far as writing out the scripts, just really taking time to write it out? For the response block stuff, did you do it?
No, they just need to be simplified a little bit.
Just for you, right? Because they shouldn't be that complicated, so that's a good point. So give me one that maybe you've worked on, you think you're comfortable with now. I know I'm putting you on the spot. I know.
You are, especially with my nose not in front of me.
You have one what was one of the objections you came up with? Do you remember?
I did. My extra one was the cost too much, but once you reduce the objections for the other ones, cost doesn't really come in for the income opportunity.
That's true.
That's more for a prospect for customer.
Right. I mean, and because again, at the end of the day, it's not really about price. And if you're talking about their situation and their problems, and you're going to show them, for example, remember one of the objections was it won't work for me, or it's too late. If I can show you that, for example, if I were to do the it's not too late, I said, well, I would raise the objection. I'll say, Kathy, I said, one of the things you may be thinking that it's too late to get in. And you often hear this in network marketing. But let me give you an example. Notice how I raised the objection, right? But let me give you an example of why it isn't too late for you to actually get involved. Okay? I offer to resolve, right? The demo would be, I say, Kathy, let me show you a couple of people who joined about 2 months ago, and I want you to see what they're doing. And then I would use 2 testimonials. But I just wouldn't show the testimonials and say, here's how much they're making. I would do something like this. I would say, so you guys remember the response block structure, right? Let me erase this. I want to make sure we're all going to get this. Even if we got to spend extra time, I want to make sure you get this, because this is, like I said, it's that important to me. And it should be that important to you. All right, so remember, the response block was you raise the objection, right? You offer to resolve it, right? And then you demo, which is really an example. What they're looking for is proof. And then the last part, you tie down this objection. And all this is in the book, right? So let me go through it slowly. If the objection was it's too late to get in, I would say something like this. Kathy, I said, you're probably thinking that it's too late to get in to this business, right? Simple raise, as you say, Kathy, make it simple, right? I raise the objection. But if I can show you a couple of examples of people who've recently joined and are doing well, would you be open to it? Now I offered to resolve it just with that, right? Now, this is the most important piece. This is always the most important piece. Because now you've got to show them something to prove your point. So what I would do is take maybe 1 or 2 testimonials, testimonial number 1 and testimonial number 2. And what I would do, again, I wouldn't say, here's Bill, here's how he joined 2 months ago, here's how much he's making. What I would do is tell a story. Kathy, I said, let me tell you about Bill. Bill joined about 2 months ago, but here's the story behind the story. Before that, he was just like you. He told me, it's too late. Maybe it's too late. This company's been around 4 or 5 years. It's too late to get in. But I convinced him that it wasn't, showing him what I'm about to show you now. So here's what we did for Bill. What we did is we got him to join, which is what I want you to do. And here's what we did. We put him through this sales process. We trained him for about a week or 2. We held his hand, blah, 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 right? I said, in the first month, he didn't see any results. I said, and what we told him is, hang in there, Bill. We're going to support you. Something's going to start happening. By the second month, he generated, after closing maybe 2 or 3 sales, he generated $200, right? That pretty much covered his cost already. But when he saw that first $200, at that point he realized that 1, that it was possible, and 2, that it's not too late. Well, let me show you what he's doing now. Now he's making about, and without exaggerating, you can say $500 a month. Get the idea? I said, based on what I've shown you now, Kathy, can you now see that it's not too late? That was the tie down, right? Can you now see that it's not too late? Is everybody with me? That's how it should sound. Just simplify, don't complicate it. And I think I mentioned that do not show a testimonial where the number is too big. So, for example, if you were to show a testimonial here or talk about Bill, and you said, he's now making $10,000 a month in just 2 months. What is my first thought? Kathy, what's my first thought?
You're full of it.
Yep, exactly. Thank you for chiming in. Exactly right. You're full of it. I don't believe you. So make sure, because it's a good point, you've got to use something that's reasonable and believable. Everybody with me on this? Cool.
Hey, this is Jerome. I got a couple of objections from people that are going, I just don't know anybody. I can't do this because I don't know anybody. How do you handle that one?
Oh, that's a great one, actually. We didn't have that one. Where were you last week? Were you here last week?
I was, but I was trying to tell you about, I tell people about they found some booths at work they like, and he's like, that's way too much information. It's like going to dinner, you go to a restaurant, a movie, and you tell people about it.
Yep. All right. Give me the objection one more time.
I just don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. They live in the same place their whole life, but they don't know anybody.
Yep. And so again, how would you, Jerome, let me put you on the spot. How would you raise the objection? You're in a conversation. I said, it's in my head, you're talking to me. You're trying to get me in, right? How would you, we're talking, how would you raise the objection?
I'm saying, I know you don't think you know a lot of people, but you know you talk to people all the time. You go to the store. You've been living your whole life. You know lots of people.
That's what I'm saying. Don't go too far. You're on the right track, but it's something as simple as this, Victor. I said, a lot of people tell me that one of the reasons they don't want to join is because they don't know anybody. See how I just stopped there? Okay, that's simple. Keep it that crisp, okay? That's simple.
Okay.
And then, so now you just raise it. Now, the offer to resolve is something as simple as this. What you may not know is that you really do know more people than you think. Let's walk through it. And then we do the resolve. And then here's where you can, again, you can talk about how would you handle that? How would you prove to me, I have an answer in my head, but I want your answer. How would you show me? You already raised the objective. You said, Victor, said one of the things I often hear in the past is, you know, people don't know anybody. Maybe you don't know anybody and you're afraid to get in. I said, but, you know, you'd be surprised, offer to resolve, at how many people you really do know. Let's kind of walk through this. What would you do right here in the demo piece? What would you do right there, Jerome? What would you show? What do you think it would show me?
So, well, you probably go to the same stores every day.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up with the people around here.
So, you go ahead.
Church. You know, you talk to people all the time. You got friends on Facebook and.
Okay. So here's what you would do. All that I would simplify it like this. I would say, Victor, I said, let's walk through this. Do you go to church on Sunday? And maybe I'd already mentioned you go to church, right? If you go to church, I would guess that you probably know, how many people do you think you know, Victor? 3 to 5. Maybe 3. Let's go with 3, Victor. I said, Victor, you told me, remember, because I've asked good questions early on, you mentioned that you're familiar with Facebook, and we're always talking on Facebook. How many people do you think you know on Facebook? You know, whatever. I don't know, maybe 20 or 30, you know? I said, where do you work? You told me you work here. How many people do you think you work there? Get the idea? And then I would say, let's say another 20 or 30. I said, you know, Victor, within just 5 minutes, we've already come up with at least 60 to 70 people that you can already approach. And I bet you if we sat here a little longer and thought about it, that number would probably be 100, if not more. So you really do know more people. And the tie-down would be something like this. We already listed 60 to 70. Can you now see, really, if we sat here long, we'd probably come up with 100. So you really do know more people than you think. Am I right? And there's the tie-down. Now you would have to say, yes, I do. So now that objection's gone. Get the idea? And it's that simple, but that's a great example because the simple raise, again, is one of the things, Victor, people tell me is that they don't know enough people, and that's why they're not in this business. I said, but if I can show you that in the end, you really do know a lot of people. I said, let me walk you through this. And then just let me ask you a couple of questions, whatever sounds comfortable. But notice I didn't complicate it. And if I had said what you had said to me, well, Victor, you know people on Facebook, you know people at the church, you know people here, that doesn't get me to commit. See, when you made me write these numbers down, when you told me to write, how many people do you know at church? 3 to 5. Okay, let's write 3 to 5 down. How many people do you have on Facebook connected to? 20 to 30. You know, how many people do you know at your job? 30, whatever it may be. What you're doing to me, Jerome, is you're really making me now write it. You know what I mean? It's almost like a confirmation. That's what makes that more powerful than just telling me that I know that. Get the idea?
I got it.
Cool. All right. And then again, the tie down is making them admit you really do know more people than you think. In fact, you know, it's probably the number's quite big. Can you now see why that really shouldn't be an issue with you? We can help you with that. The idea. Okay? That was a great one, by the way. We didn't have that one last week. Nice. Anybody else? Anybody have questions on that one? All right. I assume you guys got it. But again, don't overcomplicate the script. It's a simple raise. It's a simple offer to resolve. But the most important piece is how do you handle the proof? That's right there. And then tie it down. You got to get them to agree that it's not a problem. I'm telling you, you learn this not only in your job, not only when you do interviews, not when conversations, anything you do. This will make you money and close more deals. Okay? And I use this, like I said, when I do my presentations. In my mind, when I prepare a presentation, if I didn't mention this last week, if I did, I'm just repeating myself, is that in my mind, I know what they're thinking. So let me give you an example. So last week, was it last week? No, 3 or 4 days ago, I did the martial arts thing on Monday, right? I'm not a martial artist. You know, everybody there was like, you know, kung fu fighting, right? And so I know that I'm talking to 2,000 people, and they're looking at me like, you don't look like a martial artist, Victor. You know what I mean? And I know that. And so what I would say from the front of the room, I said, and all these folks own gyms. They're instructors that own gyms, right? And so here's what I said to them. I said, now, many of you are in martial arts and are wondering if I'm in martial arts. And the answer is no. But let me ask you a question. Today, is it more about martial arts, about running your business? And what do you think most of them spit back at me? Why do you think we're here? To learn how to improve our martial arts or to learn how to improve our business? Everybody yelled back what? Business. And as soon as they yelled that back, what did they just do? Basically give me permission to actually teach them about business. Get the idea? So that's another way to use response block, getting them to agree that you're okay with that. All right? Anything else? Tony, you're kind of quiet. Okay, I'm going to check the text. I have no voice. Okay. Okay, we lost Deborah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Are you back?
Deborah's been in and out. It looks like she's back now.
All right. If you want to ask me the question via the chat, I'll read it. Okay? All right. On this one, we wanted to talk about social media, generating leads. Are you cool? Yes? All right. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Everybody get on their chat right now. Get on their chat right now. And just hit, when I say something, just hit yes. The thing is, I'm in a room by myself, and it feels so lonely here. So just like, you know, if I say something, just hit yes, Victor. That's awesome, Victor. Victor, look.
You got it, Victor. Go, boy.
Yeah. There you go. Just give me some feedback so I'll know we're on the right track. But anyway, so I want to talk about social media, okay? And again, I have the chat up so I can read it as you're talking to me. Are there any, I know what I want to talk about when it comes to social media because we want to generate some good leads, right? And then we should also talk about generating, I'll just put generating leads. And I also want to talk about best practices, right? Best practices, and all this has to do with social media. By best practices, I mean, what are some of the things you should do versus you shouldn't do? And it's funny, I get a lot of Plexus questions now. I wonder why, right? And people are always asking my opinion on, you know, hey, Victor, is that a good idea? Is that a good idea? Because the majority of stuff that I see that the folks from Plexus post on Facebook is horrible. You know what I mean? It's so pitchy that it turns people off. Do you know what I mean? It just really turns people off. And so what can we do? What can we do? I'm going to show you what I do. And then what we're going to do is you're going to take variations of what I do and see how it applies to you. I have not made a cold call in easy 4 years. Haven't picked up the phone. Everybody contacts me. And when I started out, nobody knew who I was, nobody, you know, as far as what I did, and everybody told me it was impossible to generate incoming leads. So let me walk you through what I do, and then let's talk about how it applies to you. Because, and let me start out with this data point. Cisco Systems pretty much handles, you know, all the internet backbone, which is all how everything's connected, had an interesting statistic. By 2018, listen carefully, by 2018, I think it's 87% of all information consumed on the internet will be via video. Now register that. In 2018, 87% of all the information consumed on the internet will be mostly by video. What does that tell you? Video is important, right? And so, and then I always hear this, Victor, I'm not good at video. I'm really horrible at it. I don't know how to do it. Well, we're going to figure out how to do it. I'm going to show you that it's really not that hard to do. But if you don't want to do video, we're going to find out what works for you and what's more effective, okay? So let's start out with best practices, and then we'll get to the leads here. Let's find out, when you see people on Facebook, here's what I always see. I see the selfie, you know that? Like, watch my figure. Watch me, watch me. Got the figure. Got the front figure. You know that. I don't want to see that. Do you want to see that? I don't want to see that. It does nothing for me. Great, you've lost weight. Golf clap. Right? Great. What we want to do at the end of the day is we want to what? Remember, now the objective here is not to, as soon as you start talking about your product, how great it is, all that stuff, that's fine. But we should shift our approach. Notice that when I put something on Facebook or anywhere, it's always about education, unless it's something fun. It's always about education. I never say, go to my website. I never say that. I never say, hey, look at me. I never do that. I always share either a quote or something insightful. Remember, people don't want more information, they want insight. So let me give you the big word for today. This is the word I want you to remember. Yeah, educate. Every time you put something on Facebook, every time you do something on YouTube or any type of social media channel, you got to ask yourself, how am I educating the person who's actually looking at this? What piece of information am I giving them? Because again, I don't know if I said this last time, but to me the word insight is the most important word. And insight, I think I gave the definition, was information beyond the obvious. Remember that? Information beyond the obvious. What people want is information they don't have. So there's a lot of things you can talk about Plexus that people don't know about. The question is, what is that? Get the idea? And if you know how to do that, if you know how to talk about that, different things. And again, it could be about, let's go through the 3 pieces. It could be about wellness, it could be about weight loss, and it could be about income opportunity. If I'm talking about wellness, I got many options. I can talk about diabetes, something interesting about diabetes, fibromyalgia, right? Or whatever it may be. If I'm talking about weight loss, I can talk about different things that you can do, and maybe even post somebody else's article. Look, I found this article on how to use this, and this, and this works, and I've never seen that before. I can share that. I can share a lot of things. Get the idea? And if we talk about income opportunity, well, again, I can share what I call real testimonials, right? Like, if I asked you right now, I'll put Tony on the spot, and you can type in Tony. Could you interview 5 or 10 people within your team, right? Or even, it doesn't matter, even Plexus in general, who could talk about how they started out and really talk about how slowly their income started to grow. Could you do that, Tony? And put it on video, just a 3 to 5 minute video. Yes? Tony? Awesome. Stephanie, I don't know why you said no, but it's something. Okay?
That was bringing regard to a different comment.
Okay. So,
Yes, I could do an interview.
right. So we can all do interviews, right? We can all do interviews, and if we were to, again, we were to post, now I got, let's say, 3 to 5 interviews that I've done, right? Now notice I got 3 to 5 interviews that I've done about income opportunity. I found some articles, maybe some testimonials on weight loss, something that has information, educational information. And if I talk about, again, wellness, maybe I found an article written by some doctor about diabetes that really pertains, and it can be tied back to Plexus, or something about fibromyalgia that most people don't know. Again, what I'm not doing is selling. I'm just educating. That's my goal. So if I know that, if I now have what I call these are the pieces of information. So keep this in mind. These are pieces of information, pieces of information, pieces of information. And so what I do, if you want to understand how I grow my brand, I have all these pieces of information, and what I do, and I'm going to walk through this really slowly. The word is always educate. Give them information they don't have, right? So here's what I do. I've learned to use 3 tools. Really, the big one is I've learned to use video. You guys have seen my videos, right? The second thing I've learned to use is I've learned to use graphics. Graphics are very key. And notice that when I use the graphics, it always really ties back to my stuff. But the videos, I do graphics, and then once in a while, I'll do a combination of this. I will post somebody else's information, right? Or I'll just share a quote or something, just something simple. But again, something that's enlightening, right? But most of my, if you look at my Facebook page, you're probably going to see, I don't know, it's about 70% graphics, maybe about 20% video, and maybe about 10% is sharing other people's things, okay? Get the idea? So that's how I do it. That's what I do. So once I know that I can have some videos ready, I can design a couple of graphics. And by the way, so let's walk through them, because this may be intimidating. Sharing the quote or somebody else's information is always cool, very easy to do. Let me assume you guys know how to do that, right? You see something that's cool, you'll share it, right? We can do that. let's talk about the graphic. Because some of you might be thinking, well, Victor, I'm not good at graphics. I don't do any graphic design, blah, 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 right? Okay, everybody here can use PowerPoint? Yes, PowerPoint? Okay, everybody can use PowerPoint. So I don't know if you knew this. The easiest way to do graphics is to go online, like go into, I don't know, Google. We all know how to type in a key phrase like, let me see, man running, okay? You type in man running, right? You click images, you know, you do the Google search, you click images, it gives you all these images of what? Man running, right? What you do is you right-click and you download the image to your hard drive. Everybody with me? Just kind of nod your head, yes?
Yes.
You open up PowerPoint, you put that image in there, and I don't know if you knew this, but once you put it into PowerPoint, what you can do is add a quote or something insightful, right? Again, the insightful piece you have to come up with. Now, in PowerPoint, there's something that says export as pictures. Who's used that feature before? Export as pictures. Just hit me on the chat here if you've used it. Give me a yes if you used it. Okay? Because what happens if you know how to use PowerPoint, you now know how to really design a picture. Just take the whole slide, and it exports the whole slide as a picture. And what I do, if you go back to Facebook and look at my pictures, I usually have a picture, and it'll probably have my head or something right here. I then put a quote or something cute right there, something that's, you know, really interesting, and then I put my logo down here, right? That's all I do. And so now I post one of these a day. So I typically post one of these per day, right? Now, how could you use this with your product? Let's say that you're talking about income opportunity, right? Income opportunity. My God, how many quotes on income opportunity could we find? You know what I mean? If you go to Robert Kiyosaki or somebody like that, they'll have something like this, right? Here, I'm going to design the graphic. You got a picture of somebody, and then you can have a graphic that says there's if, come, and then there's income, right? The difference is this may happen, this will happen. You know what I mean? And something to say, take control of your own financial destiny. Take control of your own financial destiny. You can say something like that. And then right here, decide to put your logo, or what I thought was clever, a couple of people are using lifestyle blogs. Because I don't think you guys can have websites, right? Is that correct? Yes, you can't have websites, right? No websites? Okay.
We
So
can.
because
They have
we
to
don't
be covered
have that-
by compliance.
Say that again?
So we can have our own URL. It just all has to be approved by compliance. So we don't tend to do it.
Okay, all right. Something I was talking about, I wouldn't mention it, was using something clever. They had a lifestyle blog where they talked about their lifestyle and stuff like that. And what they were doing is they put a graphic up that had nothing to do with Plexus on it. Listen to what I just said. Had nothing to do with Plexus on it. Right? It was just a graphic, a nice quote, income opportunity, taking control of your own financial destiny, and then they got back to their blog, right? And then from the blog, you know, from there they decided, hey, now I'll send them to the Plexus website, okay? But the goal was to always drive traffic to that lifestyle blog. Now, if you're saying, but Victor, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to create a blog. I mean, there's free blogs now. There's Blogger. By the way, the one I use, I think I mentioned, and maybe I'm going too deep here, but I use a website called Weebly.com. Okay, Weebly. What I love about Weebly is that it's like a monkey can build a website. Okay? Somebody says they're having trouble viewing this. Let me go through it slowly. Well, let me finish Weebly. Weebly.com, if you go to my VictorAntonio.com site, that's a Weebly site. And it's all drag and drop, and you don't have to build a website. You can create like just a blog on there, a one-page blog. It is so easy to use. And for Weebly, if you leave there on Weebly, let me just do this. I don't know how to show it without making it big. All right, I'll do it visually. Here's a Weebly page. At the bottom, they'll have their logo. And because you allow them to have their logo there, Weebly is free. So you pay anything for it. So again, there should be no excuse of why we shouldn't have some type of blog. Again, it's free, okay? Again, this is one strategy. If you want to drive them back to your Plexus site, I wouldn't do it. I really like the blog lifestyle, or something that talks about, because it becomes like your diary, and you can talk about your stuff. And again, when you're posting graphics, this was just a graphic I was talking about here. You want to put something that drives them back to your blog. Okay? Yes? Tony, am I on the mark or not? Victor, having trouble? Okay. Oh, sorry. So down here was, hold on a second. I guess I went too low. Sorry, Kathy.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. All I was showing down there is, you got this, videos, graphics, sharing, right? So all I was showing was that one of the things I do, Kathy, is I just do a graphic. Can you guys see that? Let me see. Yep. And then whatever the graphic is, I can grab a graphic from anywhere on the internet. I'll just put a statement right here, some type of quote right here, right? But then down here, I drive them back to my blog, right? Or in this case, my site. Okay? But notice that when I do it, I'm not selling. And what I'm suggesting to you guys is do something like this, but don't sell. Don't sell. Okay? Okay? Yes? Cool? All right. So, okay. So let me go through my master strategy. So I do graphics. I do video. I started doing video on one of these flip phones. And what I started doing, I bought the pot, again, the stand. And if you're using a Mac, you have iMovie. And if you're using a PC, you have what? Is it like Movie Maker or something like that? You know what I'm talking about, right? So anybody can generate videos online, okay? So what I do is, again, I spend a lot of time also generating videos because I like it, and I think people want to communicate with video. As I've said, most people are going to consume information with video. And so if I were you, and I was going after income opportunity or maybe even wellness, what I would do is try to put together just one video clip a week. That should be your goal. Maybe make it a 1 to 3 minute video. But talk about something that's educational, informative. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put that on YouTube, right? Now, what's the #1 search engine? The #1 search engine is? What's the #2 search engine?
Bing.
YouTube.
YouTube, right? And who owns YouTube?
Google.
Google does.
And why? So now when you type something into Google, the videos show up. Correct?
Right.
Okay. Now, so if we were to do an exercise right now, we've talked about sharing, we talked about graphics. I really want to focus on getting you guys going on video because I think this is where you're going to start generating more traffic. If we're talking about income opportunities, what would be some keywords, and again, this is where you can type it in the chat, okay? What would be some keywords people would search on to find about new income opportunity? Obviously, the word income opportunity, right? That would be a key phrase that people would type in. What else would they type in?
Work
Give
from
me some
home.
more key phrases. If I'm looking for an income opportunity, what keywords would I type into Yahoo or Google? Making extra money from home. Make money, okay, from home, right? Home. What else?
Financial freedom.
Money. Celeste, you are so focused. Money. Yeah. I mean, make money. Celeste, you are awesome. You are awesome. Make money, right? How about this? Stay-at-home mom or dad, right? How to generate passive income. I don't know. Passive income. How about passive?
Beach money.
What was that?
Beach money.
Beach money. Did you say beach money?
Yes, enough money to live on the beach.
Okay, beach money. You got beach money, you got residual income. I saw that one. Beach money, and then residual income. I hope you guys are writing these down.
Financial freedom.
Definitely financial freedom.
Financial freedom. Right? Financial freedom. We can talk about zero debt, right? Right? We can talk about that. So let me just stop here. Debt-free, somebody got that on the money. So that would be like debt-free or zero debt, right? So zero debt or debt-free. Now, if we can, again, if you guys got together as a group, you can probably come up with, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 of these phrases that you can use, right? And this is just, notice that this is just focusing in on income opportunity. We still haven't talked about wellness, and we still haven't talked about weight loss, okay? We can generate a whole list of words or phrases that people would search on if we were targeting those markets, right? Wellness and weight loss. But let's just take income opportunity for now. If I know this is my list, okay, then now what I want to do with this list is I want to create videos that have these keywords in them. This is how I do my videos. I always look at what people are searching for and then create videos for them. And so that's why we're now, I think I'm up to now almost 5,000 views per day on YouTube. Okay, 5,000 is a lot. And so what I've done is this strategy right here. I list out key phrases that people search for, right? And by the way, will people search for plexus, yes or no? Yes, they will. People will search for plexus. They'll search for network marketing. Right? Network marketing. Network marketing. Multi-level marketing. And other things. Everybody cool with that? Okay?
Yes.
Now that I have this list, what I want to do is now create a video for one of these. And so let's say that I really like the make money from home or second income. Let's say second income. Okay? I'm going to erase this right now. So let's say that I want to create a video for second income. I like that phrase. I want to create a video. Now, I'm going to show you one of the coolest tricks on how to generate traffic online. And I've never shared this with anybody else, but I'm going to share it with you.
Oh, boy.
Now,
Hey, can you hear me now, Victor?
What's that?
Can you hear me now?
What's that? Yes, I can. Perfect. 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 I thought you were
Yes.
All right, so we now have 1 to 10 phrases that we've come up with. Yes? So what I am saying to you is that if I could generate one, I don't know, 1 to 3 minute video, which I can record easily, then what I'll do is I'll have 10 videos, right? Not trying to trick you, 10 videos, which equals 10 weeks of content, right? So what I would do, content, that's all I'm saying here, it's got 10 weeks of content. So now what I'll do is every week I post a video every Monday, every Wednesday, or whatever it may be. And that's the video that I keep promoting that week. That's my one video. So if I do 10 of these, I mean, you can film these in about a day or two of that. But once you do that, you have content for 2.5 months. Think about that. You have content for 2.5 months. That's what I was doing initially. I started doing only one video a week. And again, mine were 2-3 minutes long, okay? So we take the first phrase, and we said it would be second income. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create, for week 1, you're going to create a video called second income, right? Second income. And then here's where you have to be creative. What would you talk about? Let's just talk about this for a second. What would you talk about? One is you would address, like, you know, maybe it would be stay at home parents, right? Right. You talk about that. Then you would talk about the, I don't know, the problems of not being able to stay at home, whatever it may be, right? And then you say, well, there's a lot of different options out there, but one of the options is learning how to use whatever. And this was where you can begin to educate them on what plexus is, but you got to be gentle here. So what I would say is, again, I'm doing this off the top of my head, so, you know, be lenient on me here. So if I were to do a video, I said, hey, this is Victor Antonio. Today I want to talk about earning a second income while staying at home. Now, see, one of the challenges we face today is that we want to stay at home, but we can't. Bills are piling up. Inflation is going up. You've been to the grocery store. Stuff costs money. So the question is, what do you do to generate a second income? Well, you can get a second job, and I'm sure you've tried that already, but guess what? You got to get into traffic. You got to do this. You got to do that, and that's really not going to work for you. You can try something else. You can try getting on the internet and generating your $1 million in a week, but you know that's usually a scam, and that's not going to work. So the question is, how do you find a legitimate way to generate a second income? Well, here's what I do. I said, what I did is about a year ago, I had the same situation. I asked myself, how could I generate passive income? And I started working with this company that is out of Utah, correct? Utah? Plexus is out of Utah?
Yes.
Arizona.
Arizona. I was close. So it's out of Arizona, right? And so what I started doing is, and we looked at the product, and we had looked at many different things. And so one of the things we liked about the product was this, and this, and this, and we also liked the growth opportunity of the company. The company has grown from like this much million to this much $1 million in the last few years. I've been with them for now more than a year and a half, and you know I'm very happy with the second income I'm making, and I want to share that with you. If you want more information on how to do this, go to my blog site. Hey, go to victorantonio.com. Click on here, you'll see that, and it's got really great information on how to generate second income. Boom, end the video, or whatever it may be. Get the idea? Notice how gentle that was. It wasn't like, eh. And by the way, again, I started with a flip phone. I would just set it up on a tripod, film myself, and if you go on YouTube, look for my earlier ones that I started about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And they were rough. They were rough, but what happens is you become more comfortable. So if we do that correctly, I've just generated my first video, right? So if I've generated my first video, now I upload the video online. And if you can pull up a second screen, if you go to YouTube and you upload it on YouTube, right? You upload it to YouTube. Once you upload it, here's where I'm going to show you some magic. Ready? Okay, I'm going to show you some magic here. This is cool stuff. I'm going to show you how to get more traffic, how to outrank everybody else. Now, I don't usually share this information with just anybody, but I'm going to share it with you. Okay? Now, listen carefully. So what was the key phrase? Second income, yes? Yes?
Yes.
Second income.
Yes.
All right, second income. That was our key phrase. Now, when you record the video, you usually get a file, right? It'll be like 39765, and then it'll say, what is it? MPEG, right? It's either MPEG file, yes, something like that. MP4, whatever. It's a video file, right? Most people just take this video file and upload it to YouTube. Bad idea. Here's what you do. This is where the genius part comes in. What you do is, you see this number right here? You change the name, and you call it second underscore income underscore opportunity, and it'll be .mpg. With me? Yeah. Now, that's the new file, right? That's the new file right there. Now listen carefully. What you do is before you upload it, you rename it first with the keywords. Then you right-click. You right-click, and it will let you enter. It says something like general properties or information. I think if you're using a PC, you'll see the word properties. If you're using a Mac, I think it says info. Okay? What you do there, it's asking you to put information about the video. So what happens is you right-click and it says info or properties, you start describing the video. And what do you start describing in the video? What words do you use in the video to describe it?
Second income.
You start using those key words, right? So now, keep in mind, the file name has second income opportunity. The description in the file also has second income opportunity. It is now that you upload the file. Okay? Once you upload the file, let me erase this right here. Notice that there's several properties. When you upload the file, they'll ask you to put the headline, right? That's the first thing. You got to put a title, right? The headline, right? What you want to do is not use more than 7 or 8 words. Headline, no more than 7 or 8 words. Everybody writing that down? No more than 7 or 8 words. And what are the 2 words you start out with? Yes.
Second income.
Second income, da-da-da, and then whatever you want to put, okay? Now, by the way, if you want to put like plexus at the end, it doesn't matter. But the words at the beginning is what they look for, right? Now, in the description, or it's called the about part, once you upload a video, you got a headline, and then it said, what is this video about? What do you start out with? Second income. Blah, 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 word, and then maybe use it a second time, second income. And then, if you have a blog, you want to put your link. Now, in order for the link to work, you have to put http, / www, your website. Now, when you put http, / www, your website, it automatically generates a link within the actual about. Okay? Okay. Now, then you're going to put in tags. This is all when you upload a video. It's going to ask you to put in tags. And in the tags, you're going to put what? Second income, comma, creates a tag. Then you put income opportunity, creates another tag. All of this is with it, but the first one has to be second income. Okay? Now, you want to know how search engines work? Here's how search engines work. When you type in to Google second income, search engines will look for text, but they'll also look for video. Now remember, the search engine cannot see a video. It can only read the what? It will first look at the file name. And it says the file name is second income. It then looks at the description inside of it, and it says what? Second income. It then finds it on YouTube, sees that it says second income, goes to the about, sees second income, looks at the tag, sees second income. With every second income it sees, it gives it more brownie points, which means the probability of getting put on the first page increased dramatically. If you don't believe me, go to YouTube. If you can do it right now, type in Sales Training Atlanta. And I should dominate the first 4 or 5 pages. They're all mine because I use keywords. And so again, this is how you generate one video with this. Get the idea? This is powerful because if you know how to do this, you can do this just one time a week, put out a video. And again, I would drive them to a blog because as soon as you start talking about plexus, people what? Shut down. I'm not saying not to mention plexus, by the way. There's going to be times where you want to mention it because you have a great story or a great message. But be careful not to overdo it because people just shut down. What's going to happen is that if you do this right, people are going to go to your site, right? Your blog site, your lifestyle blog, where it's just about you and your lifestyle, what you do on a daily basis, right? And what they're going to want to know is, well, what are you doing, Tony? What are you doing, Celeste? Talk to me about this. And then in there you can put, send me an email, send me a comment. Or you can, again, have a link there to drive them to your Plexus site. Get the idea? And so this works with video, and I don't know if I mentioned, but it also works with graphics. Okay? Can we touch graphics real quick? Any questions on the video piece? And I know you guys are intimidated by video. Like, oh, I hate doing video. Oh, my God.
Love it.
Right? Any questions? What's up, Celeste?
I think it's brilliant.
I do too.
Cool. Any questions? Put it on the chat here if you have a question. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to show you one more cool thing. Because I like showing you people cool things. Okay? So, all right. So, now, by the way, you can upload your video. Oh, I forgot to do the last part. Once you upload your video, you'll notice on YouTube there's a share button. Did you see the share button? Once you upload, you put in your headline, you put in about, put in your tags, you upload it, and then there's a button that says share. Okay? Click that button, and guess what happens? When you click the share button, bear with me. When you click the share button, what happens is they'll have the Facebook logo will pop up. It'll have Facebook. It'll have Blogger. It'll have Twitter. It'll have LinkedIn. It'll have a couple of others like Reddit and whatever. So what happens is the video is up. It's an educational video, right? It's up. When you click on Facebook, the first time, it'll ask you to connect it to your Facebook account. And then what you do is you add a comment, and then you upload it to Facebook. You then click on your Blogger. A Blogger is just, by the way, again, Blogger is owned by Google. It's just a free blog. So what I do is I click on Blog, and it takes me about, I don't know, about a minute or two to post it on Blogger. I click on Twitter because I have a Twitter account, and now I put the video there. I click on my LinkedIn, and I put the video there. I click on this thing called Reddit, which is just another site, like another social media channel, and it puts it on there. So one video is now on YouTube. It's now where? Being distributed through those channels. Get the idea? Now, by the way, the other one I like to use is, this one is not on the share button, but anybody use Pinterest? Pinterest? All right? Okay. Oh, what I do is, it's not on the share button list, but I go to Pinterest and I post the YouTube link on Pinterest. And so now it's also on Pinterest. By the way, I want you to keep in mind that once I load up the video, once I upload it, once you do it the first time and you got it all set up, this takes about 10 minutes at most if you're really slow. But this should take about 5 minutes. So that means once the video's up, it takes 5 minutes to actually do all your marketing on all these different channels. Is that cool? Because that's all I do. Cool. So all I do is this. And by the way, before I forget, you can do this in a sense with graphics. Graphics are similar. Let me go back to graphics. By the way, any questions on video? Any questions on video?
No.
Thank you, Jerome, for being the only one that participates. Oh, my God. All right. So, by the way, when you upload an image, I'm going to do this really big. You can see it. So you picked an image, right? You found a cool image. And then whatever the image is, you know, mountains, rivers, whatever, right? And you put some clever statement right here, right? And again, somewhere here you want to put your site, okay? Your lifestyle site. And again, this is just my strategy. You don't have to use it. But what's interesting is this also, when you have a graphic, has a number, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, JPEG, right? What do you think? Do you upload it like that? Yes or no? No. What you do is you change the what? The name. By the way, never put spaces between your names. So, for example, if we said second income, I don't put space income JPEG. Don't do that. This space confuses the search engines. What you want to put is dash or underscore. I'm preferable, I like underscore, okay? Now, in the image, listen carefully, this is important. In the image, much like the video, if you right-click it, it's going to say information or general properties. What are you going to type in there? All your keywords. Second income, stay at home, your name, whatever it may be. You with me so far? Now, here is another wonderful secret. The search engines have something called OCR. OCR. A big O, a big C, a big R. OCR. Optical Character Reader. I say it again. Optical Character Reader. What does that mean? Is that the search engines have become so smart, that if you have the word second income, it's my shorthand, on your graphic, it will pick that up. So let's walk through it. The name of the file is second income. When it looks inside the file, it sees second income. When it views the actual image and it sees the word in there, on your image that says second income, it gives this graphic more priority for those keywords, which means it'll get ranked. And so again, if I have an image, I'm going to upload it where? Facebook. I can put it on LinkedIn. I can put it on Twitter. I can put it on Pinterest, and whatever it may be. What I'm doing for Pinterest, by the way, is really interesting, and I think I'm getting some results because I'm getting more traffic from Pinterest. What I figured for Pinterest. Any questions on the graphic?
No.
Thank you, Jerome. Okay. All right. Well, what I'm seeing on Pinterest is really interesting. I think I figured out a backdoor to Pinterest, which is generating some cool traffic. So you know how when you're uploading a graphic to Pinterest, it asks you if you want to start a new album, right? Yes? So here's what I'm doing. So let this dry up. So what I'm doing is I'm creating different albums with the key phrases, key words. So what I would do is I create an album called Second Income. And then, remember, I can put either a video or a graphic on Pinterest, right? I can do both. So my album, every time I do a graphic called, by the way, and the title, I call the album Second Income. Then I create another one called Debt Free. And then I upload videos and graphics that have to do with debt free. And what's happening is that these are getting ranked higher because the more content it seems that you have, category, content, because your videos have the word second income, the graphics have words, this album gets more ranking, gets more visibility. Everybody with me? The next time, for example,
Yes, sir.
next time you go on YouTube, look over to the right-hand side, and you'll see it says video recommended for you. Have you guys seen that? Video recommended for you? Okay, next time you go to YouTube, search on video, and over to the right, on the column, it says video recommended for you. What it is that YouTube is saying, I really like your videos, and I'm going to recommend it and put it over here. And 50%, listen to what I just said, 50% of my traffic is generated from recommended for you. Interesting, huh? So again, you can do the same thing. Pinterest is no different. So create different albums and just upload videos that have to do with that. Debt free, upload videos and graphics that have to do with that. This is not hard to do, folks. It really isn't. Think of these as just placeholders. So every time you do something, which file do I put it in? Which folder do I put it in? And you begin to collect a lot. Now, let's assume that everybody in here decided to do 5 graphics, right? Everybody on this team decides to do 5 graphics, right? So if we then pool our graphics together, we all collect it and share our graphics. 5 times 7, right? We have now 35 graphics. That's 35 weeks. That's like 7, 8 months of actual content we can start putting out there. This is not that hard, folks. This is not that hard. And once you get this going, I'm telling you, I spend about 5 or 10 minutes of marketing every day. That's all I do. The rest is just me messing around on the internet. Okay? Okay, any questions?
Victor, did you notice in Pinterest that it starts doing recommended pins based on what you've pinned in the past?
No, I didn't see that.
I was just on it last night, and there's things on my feed that I have, types of things I had pinned in the past that it pops up as a recommended pin.
Right. Yeah. And again, people who look at YouTube, if you look at your history, a lot of stuff that's recommended for you is based on your history, but also if you're uploading, it's based on what you've uploaded. So other people. What was that?
I just agreed with you. It knows everything you do, so be careful.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Once you get going, it's really, I mean, people always ask me, you know, how do I do it? And really, this is it. Once I do it, it just requires the discipline to take some time and actually do these things. That's all it is. It's just discipline. Okay, anybody else? Tony? Jerome, what do you got for me?
Hi there.
I lost Jerome.
I'm good.
Jerome, I'm done.
I'm right here. I'm good.
All right. Kathy, we good?
About time for a beer.
My man. All right.
Have you done anything along with Instagram? Of course, Twitter has hashtags. Now, Facebook, you can use hashtags. Do you use hashtags at all?
Instagram is difficult because it doesn't really let you, for me, I don't like it because it doesn't let me create. My son has figured it out. He hasn't shown me how to do it. But my son figured out a way to create a video, not using to hold it down and, you know, whatever, or taking a picture. He's figured out how to do it on his laptop, record 15 seconds, and then upload it. And, you know, I haven't gotten around to ask him how he does that because there I can control the marketing, the branding. Because if I'm going to upload something, I want it to have my logo or my address on the bottom. You know, and I think that's a more effective way. Is Instagram the way to go? You know, I don't know. You know, I made a conscious decision. I have 2 major channels. Here's my hierarchy. I got 3, but 2 majors. My biggest channel is YouTube because I'm a speaker. People need to see my mug, right? Can he speak? The second is LinkedIn because a lot of businesses hire me. Again, these are the people who are finding me. And then the third one is Facebook. And then maybe fourth is Twitter, right? And those are my channels. Everything else, like, you know, Pinterest, Instagram is just whatever. But I take care of YouTube and I take care of LinkedIn. Those are the ones that I'm always tending. Now, if I'm
you on LinkedIn?
Go ahead, Jerome.
How do they find you on LinkedIn?
On LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't know how do people find you on LinkedIn if they're not already a friend of yours?
Well, what I'm doing is posting videos. When I was talking the YouTube one, I'm posting videos. And again, with LinkedIn, you have to be careful because there's more professionals there. Like the stuff I put on Facebook, I sometimes don't put on LinkedIn.
Right.
Like, hey, you're the best, you're the greatest, you can do whatever you want. I don't put that stuff on LinkedIn. You know, because I think Facebook has a different demographic. Facebook has, to me, a more entrepreneurial demographic, whereas I call it the B2C, business to consumer, people who sell to consumers, right? Where LinkedIn is more of a B2B corporate feel to it. And so you want to feed the corporate people corporate stuff. And again, Facebook is different, it's more entrepreneurial. So if I was selling Plexus, my hierarchy would be still YouTube, because I think that's a great channel, but Facebook would be big, second for me. So I would say that if I were you and I was selling Plexus, I would use Facebook would be key for me, right? And then I think maybe I would go with Twitter on that one. LinkedIn would be down here somewhere if I was doing Plexus, because it's business to business. I'm not saying it's not possible, Jerome. I'm just saying I think the demographic is different for what you're promoting.
Right. I use Twitter some, but how do you get more people to find you on Twitter?
So on Twitter, you are using hashtags. The hashtag?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, let's walk through it slowly. I want to make sure you get this. So when we were talking about the video, remember the video I mentioned that you hit that share button?
Yeah.
Now remember, when you've uploaded something to YouTube, you hit the share button, there's the Twitter, right? You click on Twitter, it's going to open it up, give you your 140 characters, right? And then it's going to put your video link right there. But in your 140 characters, what you want to do is say something like, I don't know, something interesting about second income without sounding too salesy. You can put second income is possible, right? I'm making this up, Jerome, right? I would type in second income is possible, hashtag second income. Okay? Get the idea? Now, if you're not sure what people are searching on, Jerome, here's what you do. Next time you're on Twitter, put the hashtag in, start typing the word slowly. Second, and then it lists out suggestions. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Okay, that tells you what the most popular phrases are. Okay, and if you don't see yours there, that means they're probably not looking for that one. Okay, which means maybe debt-free is a better title. Maybe debt-free videos would be better than second income. Get the idea how you can adjust your strategy? And so what happens is anybody who types in that hashtag is going to find you. Anybody who types in work from home could probably be a big one, right? Hashtag work from home. If that's a big one, then you know what? I want to start creating more videos. But you bring up a good point, if you allow me to answer it, because I think it's a really good point you're talking about. What I would do is, remember we listed out the 10 phrases for income opportunity? We had 10 phrases, right?
Right.
And maybe what you want to do, Jerome, is that if we listed out the 10 phrases, one was second income, this income. The second one we listed out was debt-free. Debt-free, and then we said the third one was, let's say, financial freedom, right? What you may find out is that the most popular one, or let's say 4, is work from home. What you may find out is that, you know what? Work from home seems to get a lot more traffic. So from now on, I need to do more videos about how you can work from home. What's the advantages of working from home? You know, what are your tax write-offs when you work from home? By the way, that's another good subject, by the way. You start talking about working from home and tax write-offs, right? And then maybe you find out that really the second one is debt-free. That's the second most popular one. That one generates more traffic. What you will find is that you will have a tendency that says, you know, these generate more. For example, many of my videos that include how to sell and how to close a sale actually generate more than many of my other videos. Get the idea? So now you find the right phrases that people are searching for, and you can actually tell. It depends on what you use for a website or a blog. You can actually look at what they call the analytics, and the analytics tells you where the traffic is coming from and what keywords they actually typed in. Are you familiar with that, Jerome?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so if you were to use like that Weebly site, what you do is you click in where it says statistics, stats, and it literally lists out where everybody came from and what keywords they typed in to get to that site. That is like almost like a radar. It tells you what the most popular words are. I know, man, this is a lot to absorb in one shot, but I'm trying to give you great information. It's not, like I said, once you get it going, once you play with it, you know, work on it, have a couple of beers, work on it, starts making sense by the third.
I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, but again, the way you generate traffic on Twitter is to post your video or post your graphic, make sure that you include the keyword, hashtag the keyword, and then just kind of see which is generating more traffic. But I still think that your main channel is YouTube and Facebook, in my opinion. And Twitter would be number 3.
Thanks.
Cool. Any other questions? Come on, this is our last session together, folks. I'm going to miss you guys. I'm almost crying. So.
We got no more? We can't do another one?
We can probably do another one. But any questions on this one? Any questions on what we're doing here?
I'm good.
Solid. It's a lot of information. My point is that if you want to market, again, you got to use video. You got to use video. You got to use graphics. Everything that's visual. People are getting lazy. Twitter destroyed our reading habits. You think about it. Twitter, our 140 characters, really destroyed our reading habits. I used to write a lot of articles. I haven't written an article in about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, because I realized people just want to watch the video or see a nice, cute graphic with a nice quote or something educational on it. And so that should be your mindset. This really doesn't take a lot of time. It's just that right now, some of you, watch me do an objection block on you. Ready? I want to do an objection block right here live. Right? See, many of you may be thinking that video is really hard to do. That really depends on how you approach it. See that? Raise the objection, offer it up. Let me show you a couple of ways that you can do it. One, you can use an iPhone. You can use your da-da-da phone. Oh, you can use this. All you got to do is clip here. See that? This takes about 5 minutes. Here comes the tie-down. Based on what I showed you, can you now see that doing a video really isn't that hard? See what I mean?
I like it.
There it is. So that's how you would do the response block on videos. But it's not that hard. But you've got to commit to it. I think this is one of the tools you have to learn. To survive in this new society that we call selling online, you have to learn how to do this. This is not a maybe I should do it. No, you need to. You really do. And this is just going to become more and more prevalent and more important when it comes to lead generation. Because, again, nobody wants to. Oh, by the way, even these Google Hangouts, why don't I do a Google Hangout, you and I, Jerome, right? And then you interview me, right? And
Can I do it at the beach?
As soon as this is done, what you can do is you can what? You can post it on YouTube, Twitter, and it has all the keywords. You know, get the idea? So you can, there's video opportunities everywhere. I mean, how much does it cost to use Google Plus?
Nothing.
Tony, how much does it cost to use Google Plus?
It's free.
That's it. It's all free, man. This is all free. We just have to use it. All right, Celeste, you said me. Celeste is very cryptic. I don't know why, but Celeste is seriously cryptic. What's up, Celeste? What do you got, Celeste? You can type it in, Celeste. But me is not a question.
I'm here. I use it. And
Okay,
Tumblr.
there you go.
And Twitter. And
Okay.
Pinterest.
Which are you finding that you're having success with more or one or the other?
No, not really.
Okay.
I just started like a month.
Okay, and so Celeste, let's kind of walk through this. So you saw some of the tips I gave you, right? You're going to start doing that, right?
Definitely.
So the big question then is, where do you think you're going to drive your traffic to? Because remember, everything has to lead back. Let me do this. Stay with me, Celeste. Stay with me. Because everything has to lead back to here's your Plexus page, right? Your Plexus page is right here, right? It has your, what is it, six-digit number? You guys got a 6-digit number? So we want to drive them here. Here's the ultimate destination, right?
Right.
The question is, we have YouTube, we have Twitter, we have, you get the idea of Pinterest, so forth. Are you going to drive them directly here, or do you drive them to a lifestyle blog where you always drive your traffic here, and then eventually you pipe them right back into Plexus?
No, I didn't use a lifestyle blog.
Okay, you're driving them back here, right?
Right.
And so what's happening, if I may suggest, just think about this. As soon as you tell me, hey, go look at something I'm selling, and I don't know you, I just ran across you, I don't feel comfortable. You're trying to sell me something. The reason I like the lifestyle blog, it's almost like this is where we get to know each other. Do you know what I mean? This is like the honeymoon period, the build rapport period, where we hang out a little bit. And here I can read about you. I can see your stories. I can see what you've talked about. I can see your past videos. And when I see stuff like that, that builds credibility. Like, wow, this Celeste is a really nice lady. Look at all the things she's doing. She's got a family. I can see a picture of your family right there. You know what I mean? So if you drive them straight to here, immediately you're trying to sell them. It's almost like you walked in the door and says, hey, can I sell you something?
Right.
Most people won't buy. So what you want to do is just think about this, Celeste. I really think this is a much better strategy. And here you can put every day you can talk about something interesting. You know, every day you can talk about, you know, what other people are doing, but something that doesn't come across as too salesy.
Hey Victor, should you put more writing or videos on your blog?
I use a lot of videos. And if you're gonna write something, I would keep
sure.
it to, I don't know, 4 or 5 sentences, and just come up with something. So you can use, again, you can use video, graphic with a quote on it or something interesting, like a statistic, or you can just, a small description of something you want to talk about. I said, yesterday I went out walking. I started, for example, I just started using this thing called Pedometer. Right? Pedometer is an app on your iPhone that basically calculates how much you walk, how many calories you've lost, something like that. So that would be one of the things I would put as an educational piece on my blog. Hey, by the way, I discovered this thing, and here's what it does. Da-da-da-da, here's the app. And so when I read that, that's kind of cool because I said, well, that's great information. Now I want to come back to your site because you seem to have cool information. Now in there, I started stuff about plexus. Yes, Jerome?
Do you ever use Tumblr?
I did. I didn't see a lot of, for me, it didn't work that well. I didn't see a lot of traffic coming from Tumblr.
Okay.
So again, there's so many social media channels. And I think if you try to do too much, I think you just wind up not wanting to do anything. Which is why I've told myself, because I am just a lazy human being. I'm lazy. Lazy. I am so lazy. And so I like the fact that I can just go to YouTube, click the share button, and go bang, 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 and share with all the social media channels. Because if they're not on there, you got to think about this. If they're not on YouTube to share, they must not be that important.
Right.
I got a question.
Yes.
Okay, so what you mean by lifestyle blog? Like, say, I might be doing that and just misunderstood. Like, I'll post like health facts, like, or something kind of funny, like, the human body got 208 bones, smallest ones in your ear. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's it. Post it on the blog. Yeah. And so everything you do, Celeste, when you post something on YouTube or this, again, the goal is in the, say, for example, on YouTube, in the About section, you want to put your lifestyle blog link in there. Get it?
No.
What's that?
No, I didn't get it. What you mean by your lifestyle blog?
Well, let me. What's the blog?
Where would you set up a blog?
Right. What you mean by the link of your lifestyle blog?
Yeah. What's the name of your blog?
I don't guess I have a blog.
Okay. Where are you writing your comments?
Okay, like just say if I post just an interesting fact, I wouldn't put nothing attached to it.
Where did you put that interesting fact?
On all the sites we just talked about.
On what?
On all the sites we just talked about, like Facebook, Twitter.
Okay. Again, you're not driving. See, what happens is
Right.
these are social media sites. Social media, okay? I'm separating a blog out by saying this is almost where you keep a journal, your life story, things that you're doing, right? And again, you can take what you share here and share it on YouTube, but this is like your hub. Do you know what I mean? This is where you put all your stuff.
Victor.
And then if you make a video, you upload it to YouTube. If you make a video or you add a picture, you upload it to Twitter or Facebook. But
Victor.
This is for a hub. This is where, yes, sir.
I think she's trying to figure out where she would put up a blog. Where would she like design a blog?
Okay, so what I mentioned earlier, if you go to there's that website Weebly.com.
Got you.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a free one, and that one has literally click a button, you create a blog, and then what they'll give you is a web address, right?
Right.
And you can use your name as a web address. So it'll be CelesteAndress.weebly.com. CelesteAndress.weebly.com. You with me?
Yes.
Okay. So that, and by the way, you'll type it in. You'll see it. They'll tell you if it's available. That now becomes your link, right? And then Stephanie just posted what hers looked like. She's using Blogspot. Look at the chat. Thank you, Stephanie. Hers is SteffiMcGee.blogspot.com. So you can use Blogspot or Weebly or WordPress. There's so many. Just pick one, though, okay? And I'm not going to tell you one is better than the other because I really don't know. I think it really depends how you use the blog. But Blogspot is good. Blogger is another one. Or use Weebly. That's another one. Okay? I like Blogger because it's owned by Google, which owns YouTube, which I believe gives preference to Blogger. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, I got it now.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, and Jerome, thank you for the clarification.
Hey, Victor, I have a question. I haven't used my blog as much as I'd like, but I do various crafting, and I own a travel agency, so that's the kind of stuff that's going on there. Would it be a bad idea to put my Plexus website as a link somewhere on there if I happen to be talking about Plexus that day? Because you know there's a spot on the bottom you could just put a link. And don't even say anything about it, just it be present.
Yeah, you know what? You probably have a section where it says about you. You know, every time you put that, you can always put da 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 da. You know, and then put an ambassador for Plexus.com. Here's my link, and something simple like that. It's never, again, what you don't want to do is come across as too salesy, which is why you need this blog as an intermediary. And eventually, what you want to do is drive people here to your Plexus site. So if I write, again, if I do a video and I'm talking about second income, I would put it on my blog. You with me, Celeste, also? I would put it on my blog. I put this video on my blog. But once I put the video on my blog, in the description, I'll talk about second income. If you want to know more about what I do, click here. And that's where you would put your Plexus link, and it would drive them here. If I put a graphic that says, life is all about a second income, you know, how do I do it? Click here. Boom, you drive them here. But while they're visiting this blog, make sure you put some personal stuff, some personal stories. You know, share some articles. So this becomes not a sales page, because that's where I think the mistake is often made. It becomes a place where people can go and there's really cool information. Again, I get back to the word educate. If you focus your blog on educating first and then driving traffic to Plexus, I think you'll see different results. People will come back because you have cool articles. You found things they don't know. Again, you were talking about, you know, something about the human body. Oh, that was interesting. Every time I come to Celeste's webpage, she has something cool. Let me go see what she has today. And that keeps people coming back. Okay? So there's so many ways you can figure out. Just try to be clever in how you send people to your site. What I do, again, I'm very clever in the sense that I put Victor Antonio. Sometimes I'll sneak into VictorAntonio.com at the bottom. But people see my name, Victor Antonio, they're going to what? Google it. And they'll find my website. And so I have my, if you see my logo, I have the V and the A. And just I use it all the time, just as a constant branding tool. Okay? And again, you guys are a brand. I don't know if you realize. Plexus is a brand, but you're a brand also. Keep in mind that you can create your own brand. So it's not like it's only for Plexus or people like Victor. It's like you can create your own brand. You can come up with your own logo if you want. Cool. All right. Anything else? I see nothing.
No, loved it.
Okay. I know it's a lot of
I
information.
think this was brilliant.
Okay.
Thanks, Victor.
Cool. All right. I know Jerome wants to go have a beer. I can tell. He has that beer voice.
I got one.
Anybody else? Kathy, chime in.
I got to feed my horses.
This was
Good, Kathy?
wonderful, Victor. I think social media is phenomenal, and all the implications within it and how you can use it, because everybody is a brand now, and
Yeah.
there's so many different. The keywords are the way you can get people to recognize you better as well. So.
Yeah. What you're going to see now, Kathy, is that when you see people put up their videos, you're going to see that a lot of rookies out there. Because what they'll do is they'll have like some horrible headline. And then when you look at the about, you're like, okay, that's not right. Now you're going to be able to see it, why people don't get a lot of traffic. And again, if you upload the video with the keywords, embed the keywords with the right click before you upload the video, like I just showed you, you do these things, you will get more traffic. And again, in there you sneak in the word Plexus, by the way. You know, in the about or in the tag, you can sneak in the word Plexus, and you'll get some traffic. So when think of somebody who's in Plexus today that's generating a lot of traffic online, right? What's her name? Give me a name.
Lori Harrison.
Laura Harrison. So you want to be sneaky? You want to be really sneaky? I don't usually share this with anybody. but I'm going to share it with you. Here's what you do. In your tag, you put her name. And you put Plexus. And you put Plexus Worldwide. So when her video is being watched, your videos will also show up on the side. That's so evil. But it's brilliant, right? Get the idea? Yeah. It's that simple sometimes. So just by adding her name into your tags, your videos will come up by hers. Now, it won't work all the time, but guess what? In some of the searches, yours will come up. Okay? So, for example, I insert, and not in all my videos, but I'll put Brian Tracy in one of my tags, right? I'll put, I don't know, like a Jeffrey Gitomer, a Zig Ziglar. I'll insert these tags in there. And sure enough, I show up with them. That's how I got more traffic. I know. Evil genius. That's what I'm talking about. All right, folks. It's now 9:31 East Coast time. I will now give you a high five and then all the questions. We're good?
Hey, I
Tony, you call it.
think I'm going to use Victor Antonio.
I think you
Or
should.
if I can be
Just
heard.
plug it in there. Bam. Yep. I would. But remember, make sure that it relates to your business. So you can use
I'm
Victor,
having a
but they're
lot
going
of
to go,
trouble.
okay, but that's a sales trainer. On what? By the way,
I'm
Renee,
just
you're welcome.
kidding, anyways.
Anything else?
Victor,
I'm signing
it was
off.
great.
All right.
Lots of great value tonight, Victor. We certainly appreciate it with you. We have already talked about getting some more time in, but we're going to just come up with some other topics that we want discussion on. We've learned so far. Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You
Have a
guys
great night.
have a good
Signing
night.
off.
Thank you, Victor. You too.
See you guys. All right. Go.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.